Guys, I was recently working with a friend of mine, not Rob, on the Kimura from side mount, and there were just a couple mistakes that were driving me crazy. So I'm putting them here on the video to help him and also to help you guys. So there were 3 or 4 mistakes that he was making attacking the Kimura from side mount. The first was not really controlling this arm. Like, this is a bad position. If his arm is on this side of my head, 90% of guys are going to go for a Kimura. They might go for a spinning arm lock, they might go for an arm crush, but most people are going to be going for a Kimura. So he knows this is a terrible position, right? It's not under here, it's not framing, it's not buried, it's here. So he knows it's terrible. I want to keep it in a terrible position. How do I do that? I'm going to try and choke his upper arm like this. It's like I'm rear naked choking his upper arm, just not using this hand here. That means that my forearm's not on the floor. It means the point of my forearm's on the floor. It also means that my head has to be in play. It's a triangle. If I'm just here squeezing, he has a route out. If I'm here, and I'm using my head down to push his head down while pulling up here, that's a much, much tighter position. The other place you can screw it up is in the next transition, when you're going to take it with the other arm. If all of a sudden I'm here, and then I'm trying to, it's gone, long gone. So I want to keep this arm separate from his body. The way I like to do that is to take this arm, and now I'm double rear naked choking this arm. Yes, I know that hand can come high, but I'm still using my head. It's hard for him to pull it out. Now I turn my body. If this hand is floating around, this is easy to get. Now I push it down. If this hand is higher, and if he's hiding it, which isn't a bad thing to do, I might have to drive forward to free this. Next mistake is trying to do it here. See how where his wrist is relative to his hip? See where his elbow is relative to his waist? This is low. I can Kimura someone from here, but it's going to be way more work. I can do it. Look how far back his arm can go. I eventually got the tap, but I mean, you would have escaped for sure in that process. What I have to do to make this tight is to bring this elbow up towards the head. At this point, I don't have to lift it hardly at all. Down here, tons of movement. You can try this yourself. How far can you put your hand behind your back? When your hand's down, lift your elbow high. How far can you move your hand behind the back here? Almost not at all. So I got to move that whole unit up towards his head. So we're here, there. Third thing, some people, especially if you're really good at the Kimura, they can finish it here. But if the guy's strong, if he's flexible, usually it's better to step over the head. Now, I don't like stepping here and then sitting up, because if he's tough and he bridges into me, he can knock me over, he can hide the leg, hide the arm. So what I like doing, something I learned from Chris Brennan, maybe 15 years ago, switch the hips, step this foot in line with his spine, right? His pelvis, his neck, his head. My knee is right over his head. My foot is in line with the spine. Now I'm not kneeing him in the head, but as I lift the Kimura up, his head comes up into my knee and restricts the motion. This also allows me to lift more. Yes, you can totally do this. This has worked on a lot of people. It's not bad, sets up some other cool attacks, but I really like, if the guy's hips are here and his head is here, I like putting my foot here on that same line, and then just making sure that my knee is kind of caging his head. So as he starts to come up, it'll run into my knee, and then I can finish it. So those are the 3 things that I worked on with my buddy. It helped him, hopefully it helps you guys.